I sure do love this nuclear power source. It feels like it gives us all the electricity we could ever need, and I don't even need to know how it works. What's that? What's going on? It's a comet, sir, and it's coming this way. Everybody, hold on to something quickly.
Up and at him, Captain.
Oh, what's the damage?
The nuclear reactor on the ship was damaged by the comet. Come on, we need to repair it.
But I don't know how nuclear power works.
That's okay, I'll teach you on the job. Let's go. Nuclear energy uses rotary motion to generate electricity, same as any other power station. At the end of the process, pressurized steam is used to spin a turbine, which when connected to a generator creates electricity. Most of the world's electricity is produced by steam turbines.
Steam? Where does steam come into a nuclear power station?
It's quite simple. A coolant is pumped around the nuclear reactor, absorbing heat. The coolant is then run through a steam generator, which heats water. Water expands when it turns into steam, creating the pressure needed for a steam turbine.
That's actually rather easy so far. What's the coolant made of?
Well, it could be any number of things. Some stations just use water, others use more specialized coolants and gases.
Okay, I get it. The reactor heats up the water, which turns to steam. That spins the turbine and produces electricity from motion, like a backwards motor. So how does the reactor heat up that water?
Well, that's the cool part, of course. You know how explosions look, right? Big bang, loud noises, lots of heat? Well, a nuclear reactor makes really small explosions. In a nuclear reactor, a particle called a neutron is shot through an atom, splitting it in half, like a regular explosion. This produces light, heat, and kinetic energy. It also releases a number of extra neutrons that can go on to hit other atoms, causing what we call a chain reaction. Splitting an atom this way is called nuclear fission.
Interesting. Come to think of it, why were the lights on if we had no power anyway?
Oh, those run off a backup solar power source.
What? Why don't we just run the whole ship off solar power?
Well, for energy produced over time, solar generates far less than nuclear power, and you need to cover far more space in solar panels to make up for the comparative size of a nuclear reactor. That's why we power these lights and not much else with our solar panels. Plus, unlike our nuclear reactor, the sun is not always available to us for creating energy.
What about coal? People use that all the time.
I'll explain that while you get out there and put this new pipe in. As I like to say, out with the old and in with the nucleus. Coal is a non-renewable resource that needs to be mined, which can have a significant environmental impact. This is of course no different to uranium, the metal used in a nuclear reactor. However, unlike a nuclear reaction, the process of burning coal to create power releases a huge amount of greenhouse gas, which further impacts the health of people and the planet. Plus, we'd have to carry far more coal than we do uranium to keep the power running.
Hold on, isn't this really bad? Shouldn't we be panicking a little bit?
Actually, contrary to what most people think, nuclear reactors are generally very safe. There have only been 3 major disasters in the history of nuclear power: Chernobyl, Fukushima, and 3 Mile Island. And all of these happened because the safety precautions were not followed. Power stations these days are subject to a rigorous inspection schedule, and there's layers upon layers of safety measures to make sure that nothing bad happens.
Sounds like they've thought everything through then. How come everyone doesn't use nuclear power?
Well, despite all these safety precautions, some people think it just still isn't safe. Despite how widespread it is already being used in places like United States, Japan, and many more.
Alright, seems pretty clear to me.
Clear or nuclear? Get it?
Let's just get back to the bridge.